Okay, so today we'll be talking about Git Stash, and I am Lakshya Singh, a CSE third year student at IIT BHU. So let's get started. First of all, let's move to the directory, move to my project. So this is my repository, and let's open up a Tmux. So it's with the terminal, and so what exactly is Git Stash? I don't need to tell you this. You already have an option of man pages to check it out. So the man page says stash the changes in a dirty working directory away. Use get stash when you want to record the current state of working directory and index, but do not but you want to go back to a clean working directory. So what does that mean? So let's say I was working on some changes. So this is an example, and the equation over here is 3x squared plus 8 into minus 6 plus 5. I don't like 5 and I am willing to change. I am willing to make some changes. And yeah, so this is the first change that I made. Then I also want to change this range, which is minus 10 to 10. So let's make it 11 because I like 11. And while I was doing it, so my manager called me and told me that there is an issue with the knapsack example and you need to make amends to it right away. So these are my changes, and if I start working on that change, these will be lost. So I don't want that because code is not cheap, code is precious, and code is time. So what I can do is I can go over here, close this. So as you can see, I made some changes, and I was gonna make a few more, but I need to quickly switch over to the knapsack issue. So what I can do is I can get stash. Now if I check out the stash entries, you can see there is one entry which I made right now. Now what I can do is I can quickly head over here and start working on the knapsack problem. So the issue that my manager told me with knapsack problem was that there is a value, the item with weight 9 has too much of a value to be comparable to other values. So what I can do is I can make this entry 60, and I can now if I head over here and I run a git diff, I can see that I made my change, and now what I can do is I can add that change and I can commit it. Make entries comparable. Alright, so my change was made. Now, what about the changes that I was working on prior? So it's simple. Let's check our entries again. The stash is still there, and the stash number is stash at O0. So what I can do is I can run the command git stash apply stack at O0. Now let's see what changes it brought back. It brought back these changes, but that's not all. I was going to make a few more changes, then only I can commit this. So I can head over here. So I made a change over here, I made a change over here, and let's make one more change. So I don't want this to be 1, I want this to be 11 also, because that's what I do, I make things 11. Now let's see what all the changes are made. The equation is changed, the range is changed, and the fitness function is changed. Alright, so now I'm satisfied with all this, and now what I can do is I can add my changes and I can commit them. Make things 11 because it's better. Alright, so my changes were made and they are committed. So let's check. So this is the first change, make entries comparable. Then I have the second change, make things 11 because it's better. So now I'm done. So what I did, quickly changed over to the high priority job of knapsack problem, and I still had my changes that I made to the equations, and I got back those changes thanks to git stash. But let's see the stash list again. So the stash is still there, but I don't want it to be because I'm done with it. So what I can do is git stash drop stash at index 0. And what it did was it dropped the stash. There is a better command for all this. What you can do is, so what I did was I applied the stash and then I dropped it. You can simply do git stash pop. Let's see what. So there is no man page for it. But what exactly git stash pop does, it will run git stash apply with the index 0, and then it will drop at index 1. So it is basically a way of saying git stash apply stash at 0 and then run this command. So it does two jobs for us. It applies it and then it drops it. So yeah, that was all for git stash. Thank you for joining in, and make sure to subscribe our channel.